Oh boy, if you thought things couldn't get any worse, well, they just did. In case you don't know what's happening, MrBeast, KSI, and Logan Paul recently launched another crappy product called Lunchly, a more cancerous version of Lunchables. This has made OG YouTubers like DanTDM, Jacksepticeye, and iBallisticSquid pretty mad because it's blatantly exploiting kids. I have huge respect for these YouTubers. I grew up watching them, and I bet most of you did too. If they've had enough and are starting to speak out against MrBeast, Logan Paul, and KSI, then these guys are probably crossing the line here. I mean, what happened to the good old days when the worst thing you did was sell shitty merch made by kids in China? Now you trying to poison kids? Then who's gonna work at the factories, man?
What do you mean by that?
These guys are already billionaires and still hungry for more money, even at the cost of their fan base's health. They're targeting little kids, though to be fair, Chris Tyson did that too. But, not that type of targeting. After all, he's part of MrBeast's crew. You know what I mean, right?
Whoa, calm down, Jamal. Don't pull out the 9.
After Dan called them out, telling them to stop selling crap and do better, it made MrBeast, Logan Paul, and KSI, the 3 biggest crybabies, very angry. Let's start with the biggest child exploiter, the lottery man himself, Mr. Krabs' cousin, MrBeast. He tweeted, "Lunchables sells hundreds of millions of units and countless people eat it. Our goal is to give people a better-for-you alternative." Wait, let me stop you right there, Mr. Casino Man. Isn't this the same guy who literally said in the past that he wants to help people and create healthy products? Instead of selling junk like everyone else. And what does he do? He starts a burger chain, makes a chocolate bar, which at first he claimed had less sugar than Hershey's, then secretly changed the recipe to make it worse than Hershey's, worse than a can of Coke. My question to Mr. I Don't Fake My Videos is, how are you this shameless? You just got caught in 4K changing the recipe of one of your products to make it worse, after advertising it as a healthier option. How are you still saying you're giving a better alternative? It's funny how they're comparing it to Lunchables, acting like they're doing us a favor by saying, "Don't eat that crap, eat our crap instead." Oh wait, that sounded a bit wrong, but you get the point. Jokes aside, this man goes on to say, "Our turkey meal, for example, has 80 fewer calories, 60% less sugar, more electrolytes, we use real cheese, they use cheese product, they can't even call it cheese, higher quality meat, etc." Once again, he's throwing around buzzwords like more electrolytes to fool people. There are already hundreds of videos on YouTube debunking this, showing how it actually lacks the more necessary electrolytes. This man really thinks he can throw any garbage product at us, and we'll just praise him for it. Let's take a look at some of the comments. "MrBeast, you should feed children toxic waste and give me $10,000. I mean, he basically is. If you release this product, I will kill myself." 46K likes. Damn, that's a lot of people angry at Mr. Lunchly over here. Agree that this is slightly less unhealthy, but it's like selling organic cigarettes to smokers and calling it a positive impact. Yeah, exactly. Finally, people are opening their eyes to how these 3 goblins from Clash of Clans are just here to exploit us. Mr. Breast, give me $1 million. Damn, this guy is really down bad. Jackseptic-eye also weighed in, and I called it in my last video. But before we get to that, let's see how YouTube's biggest crybaby, KSI, is doing. By the looks of it, I don't think he's doing too well. Sir Theodore III replied to Dan's tweet with images of old DanTDM toys saying, "Looks like crap to me." Oh boy, where do I start? Mr. Fatneek over here is comparing a combo meal of a drink that falsely advertises its ability to hydrate and highly processed snacks to a toy for kids to play with. KSI even had a U2's toy back in the day. He's just reaching at this point and making a clown out of himself. Like, how are you going to criticize someone for selling a toy when, in fact, you did the same thing? And how is a toy comparable to selling an absolute garbage alternative to Lunchables for kids? A toy might not give you health problems, but a crappy, highly processed product like Lunchly definitely will. Also, shout out to Community Notes for exposing even more. Not only has KSI worked with them before, but the CEO of U2's, Austin Long, got his start by managing the Sidemen and was an executive producer on their YouTube Red show. Well, that's embarrassing. And if you thought would stop here and not embarrass himself further, you're very wrong. In his next tweet, he said, Dan was sponsored, then promoted, and made a whole video on MunchPack, a monthly sub box full of food and candy, to his Minecraft audience full of kids. Now what? I don't even have to say anything about this because iBallisticSquid's reply was enough to shut down his tweet. He said, "It's a one-off sponsored video, plus he isn't claiming candy is healthy in the video. You guys own the company and are actively claiming it's a healthy lunch alternative. That's where the problems are." As I said earlier, Mr. Megamind over here is really reaching. The video he's talking about is over 9 years old and was uploaded on Dan's third channel. Plus, Dan didn't create or have any stakes in MunchPack. This comment from NoPayFi sums it all up. Insane levels of reaching to sell slop to kids. Yeah, exactly. To be honest, KSI has a habit of reaching, just like how he reaches for his opponents to hug them for the entire fight. JJ beefing with DanTDM, me. Anyways, let's talk about Mr. Logan Paul. I gotta hand it to Mr. I Scam Kids. At least he's not hiding anything. In his tweet reply to Dan, he said, "I'll tell you what happened to YouTubers. We spent our lives creating content and building our brands. Now we want to build businesses." So he's basically saying, I built a fan base, it's my effort, so now let me scam them peacefully. It couldn't be more obvious than that. It's so obvious that it's hilarious. We want to build businesses. Let's take a look at what kind of businesses you're building, Logan. Prime? A trashy hydration drink that's being sued by 3 different organizations.
But things aren't looking great for Logan Paul or his Prime energy drink company. Dramatically declining sales are only the tip of the iceberg and have caused him to be sued by not just the US Olympic Committee, but also the manufacturer of the drink. But Prime has yet to respond to the lawsuit, possibly because it's busy fighting another major lawsuit, which is about the lack of success of Prime. It's really getting whipsawed here.
Oh, you mean CryptoZoo? Yeah, that's a great business if you consider scamming your audience as a business model. And now we've got Lunchables, another Logan Paul masterpiece. First, you tried to scam your audience with CryptoZoo, then you tried to sell them a crappy sports drink, and now you're trying to sell them a Lunchables knockoff. And these aren't even all of them. I could give more examples, but this video's already long enough. And yeah, build your businesses, no one's stopping you, but not at the expense of your fan base's health. You might be wondering what else Mr. Businessman is up to. Not much, really. He's also beefing with community notes. Beefing with community notes is crazy. Anyways, let's talk about Jackseptic-eye. He tweeted, "You mess with DanTDM, you mess with YouTube." And he's absolutely right. People can ignore a lot, but if you mess with OG wholesome YouTubers, you're not getting saved. That's it for me on this one. If these money-hungry goblins try to pull something else, I'll let you guys know. Until then, feel free to check out one of my other videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.